doing right now in Indonesia. Maybe this is one of the longest title that I gave. Urban health and resilience. We are talking about how to navigate the contemporary challenge in the changing lifestyle. We try to give you some example from Indonesian vernacular community. Next. Not maybe we can just skip this one and talk about it later. And then I give you maybe the opening. Architecture shapes how we live, and yet our lifestyle constantly reshapes the architecture. It's been maybe more than 10 years that I trying to research about the lifestyle, the people's lifestyle. I see that the architecture that of course, architecture was made by human actually, but in some other hand, when the user come into the architecture, when the user use the buildings, maybe our lifestyle little by little give a changing, give a different response to the architecture. And then next maybe we also have a study on the before we studied about the lifestyle of its people. Also here I include Thailand in Japan and China compared with Indonesian people lifestyle. It's about the occupancy rate of weekday activities, for example, in the residential building. And we found that they have a significant difference from Indonesian people compare Indonesian and China a little bit similar here, but Thailand and Japan a little bit same here. But as you see that Thailand have low occupancy rate during the day, but it's just if you see Indonesia and China, some people had to go home in the middle of their work, or on the other hand, they go back again to work again. And while we also did some research on the occupancy of the ownership of air conditioning system actually. If you see here, Indonesia at that time still have a low number on the ownership of the device, but compared to Thailand, I've been living for Thailand like a month, last 2 months ago actually, and of course all the building mostly have an air conditioning system there. But compared to Indonesia, maybe the temperature, the thermal conditioning is not so different, but we see the trend. I mean, more people are getting their quality of life higher than before, I think. While in China, of course, if you compare to Japan, air conditioning system is become a basic needs of housing actually. But in Indonesia, we see a lot of different. But I believe that this is changing right now. Next. And for today, I will give you next, please. For today, I will give you maybe some simple study case. We have like 4 or 5 from vernacular architecture that is actually my expertise here. We study about the changing of the lifestyle actually, and we're trying to connect with the topic that you request. So what is urban health here? As the WHO said, we have a physical, mental, and social, but I see that there's a problem among a different generation in here. For example, as a millennial or above, yeah, physical will become critical here, and for generation of Z generation, maybe the mental problem will become so intensively found in this era actually. And then regarding about the urban health issues, maybe we just not talking about HIV virus or tuberculosis and maybe COVID that I published in my last journal actually like 2 years ago. We're talking a lot about the COVID impact in architecture and anything, but also, of course, in the growing of road traffic accident and social infrastructure. Next. I'm not expert also in this urban planning because I'm from architecture. We study smaller part compared to urban planner. Actually, we have as my thought maybe we have a rural, suburban, and urban, and maybe rural become before the city become a city. We studied a lot about the village, how the village was formed in the traditional way, in the vernacular way, and become bigger and bigger, like a town, and the city, like a big city, like a Jakarta, like a Bandung, like Surabaya, or maybe Bangkok, finally exists. And we see here is we highlighted the lifestyle. Actually, we have a rural, suburban, and urban big difference lifestyle here, with a slower pace, with a balance in the suburban. Like we have a lot of residential part in the suburban, but on the other hand, we have urban that everything's going fast. And we also did some survey on the residential lifestyle and energy use in rural China, while we are comparing also the lifestyle between in the rural area and urban area. We see a big difference at that paper. And regarding about the city planning, actually, we have, maybe I introduce you the terms of alun-alun here. Alun-alun is mostly found in this in the Java area. Not just in Java, actually, in Indonesia, but like in Sumatra and Kalimantan. They're trying to make a city square that can be a catalyst for the development of the urban planning, of the urban design itself also. And then we see that a big square in the middle of the town, actually. It become icon of every city in Indonesia. That is, I think they have also rule of thumb here, like above is like a mosque, masjid, a place to pray, and we have also place for like governmental, and they have a surrounding facility that is supporting the activity in the center of the city. It becomes before it become a control area for a colonial era before, but right now it is become a public space in nowadays, and I hope that it still exists and become a center of the activity to make a healthy cities, because in the middle they always have a greenery that is very hard to find right now. Next. Also, we also have a program like next, please. We have like as an example in urban of Surabaya, I introduced to you the name of kampung. We call it kampung actually. Kampung means of urban village. We have a village inside the urban area, for example. People in Surabaya trying to make this more aesthetic, not just aesthetic, but increase the health quality, increase the environmental quality. For example, last 2 years, I asked my professor, Prof. Wei-Jun Gao here. Together, we do observation inside of the house. Is it really healthy? And I think it's a very potential research to do for us right now. If you are interested, of course, we can do a collaboration. Next. We also have some cases that is my lab right now doing, me and my students, like a Joglo house in the central Java. We do the research of the thermal performance of the houses. What is the impact of the shape into the thermal condition and people health, people activity, and what kind of lifestyle change that give a response to the architecture. Next. We also studied a place like this, like they have a kitchen that gradually change the kitchen to be modernized. Next. We also have a Madura tribe. It's not far from Surabaya. If you someday if you come to Surabaya, maybe I will ask you to see some existing beautiful building. Actually, if you see those roof, it's like this house will increase. They will add the house when the daughter is increase in that family. For example, if you have three daughter, you have a three roof here. You have five, you will have five. It's interesting to study about the sustainability also. Next, we found that a lot of thing that people try to get to become to change the house material, the expression of the house, because they think wood is not sustainable. Wood is it is hard to find a wood anymore, even it's sustainable for environment, but people try to change to become more cleaner, and maybe they said it's healthier to become like this because it's easy to clean. Next. And we also do such kind of mapping to the whole area. As you see here, if maybe we are talking about urban, but as the context of the village here, it's a one package actually. We have a housing inside, but surrounding it's farming area, as you see in this picture, the right picture. Next, we'll also have measure the performance of the buildings. Mostly of the people using the terrace, using the corridor as their main activity, and most of them never use the air conditioning system that is maybe popular in the city area. And we found that a different level of thermal level of its people, thermal comfort of its people. When we ask some students to that building, they feel very hot. But on the other hand, as the user of the building, they said that's comfort enough to do activity of in front of house. Next. Next, please. Yeah, we also survey a Lom tribe. We call it indigenous to the hilly forestry part of Bangka Island, actually. And they have a specialized in the herbal medicine in agricultural activity. Next. And we send some student there to feel the lifestyle. We talk about actually those vernacular housing also give inspiration to the city development, that we hope they think about the house orientation, they think about the distance from the farm, the wooden waste location. Next, maybe. Yeah, as we see, is if we compare to the city, is significantly different style of the building. Is it a good? Is it not? That is a part of our research actually. And we go to Sunda tribe in the West Java. We have a different culture here. Like they are very sustainable lifestyle. I think they eat from what they plant, what they raise, like fish or chicken from inside of the village, that not going anywhere from the village, and they're right now still close to the outside lifestyle. So next, just tell me if my time is up. And so the tribe in village, we have those kind of very simple house layout. They just have a kitchen and living space here, because most of the activity they do most of the activity outside of the house, like a farming and anything. Regarding to the city, for example, the place that same place in West Java, but we see there's a slum area like this, economic gap between the rich and the poor. For example, they have to stay in the big city, but the quality of their living they have too many different with the village living. Like for example, even some people maybe show the big building of the city in the central town, like I said to you, the town square, for example. Next, we also have some problems, for example, in Bali. Before Bali is indigenous with keeping the tradition of the house, for example, like in Tenganan and Panglipuran village, they keep the tradition. But right now, next over tourism, maybe changing the Bali itself, become so modernized, and they're getting, I don't know, maybe in my view or in my point of view, they're trying uh getting far away from its tradition. Next, so as a conclusion, and maybe give you some discussion after this, kind of modern spatial planning truly create a healthy and sustainable communities without prioritizing the local identity? That's the problem, maybe. Or does it worth to risk erasing what makes them resilient in the first place to reach what is considered the standard? So there's a contradiction here, but hopefully also we see that Indonesia also have a new capital city right now and new presidents actually. Then we still have a hope, I don't know, but if we don't do this from this stage, from the earlier stage, I think this will only just become a tagline and not really healthy, sustainable, or maybe resilient city in the future. Thank you for me. Hope for more discussion after this. Thank you.